Beautiful people, welcome back to another video. For those new here, my name's Pete. Some call me Pilot Pete, and today we are officially done with vacation. So that means we're back to work, but I just picked up a trip. If you're not new here, you know where it's probably starting at. Newark Airport, although Newark might be a disaster. Been following the news, it's been kind of crazy there, but picked up a front end deadhead to Newark. So for me, living in New York, that means I'm pretty much already here. The trip starts today, but the only reason I was able to pick it up is because of that deadhead, because we got stuff to do today in New York City. We're actually headed to JFK, the TWA airport. So my girlfriend and I actually got invited to go do a photo shoot at the TWA iconic hotel at the Terminal 5 in JFK. So we're headed there now, subway to LIRR to get to JFK, and we're meeting with a professional photographer. He's gonna do couples photos for us. Don't get any funny ideas though, it's not what you think. It's just for fun, and then he's gonna do some photos of me in my my uniform. So looking forward to that. As always, you wanna come along for the ride? Let's go do it. It's funny because I'm not used to taking public transportation to the airport, since my company indirectly pays for the Ubers and Lyfts and cabs to and from work. Since this is not official business, this is Pilot Pete Fly personal business, then I gotta schlub it the old regular way. So subway to Grand Central. It's one of the two major train stations here in New York City, and they just built a new rail that can take from Grand Central direct to the JFK area, Jamaica, and then you take an air train. Actually still quite expensive. It adds up to be like 25, 26 bucks one way, but definitely a lot cheaper than an Uber. We looked them up right before we left. It was like $106 one way, which is insane. But yeah, so in Grand Central now, walking to the Metro North Long Island Railroad, and then I'll meet SJ there, and we'll jump on the train to JFK. Next stop is Jamaica for JFK. And look who joined me in all of her glam. Folks, doesn't she look beautiful? Wow, stunning. Absolutely stunning. You excited for this photo shoot?
I am. I've never been to the TWA Hotel, so I'm excited.
I would hope you've never been there. I would have many questions if you had. So what exactly are we doing while we're there?
Well, this very nice photographer reached out and saw this video that is viral of Peter spinning an umbrella. Check out my social media to see it. And he said I would love to.
What's your social media?
At Sony Horton on Instagram, at Sony Horton on TikTok. They're posted, the video's posted at both platforms. Anyway, he reached out and said I would love to take couple photographs of you two. I said, I love that. So we are headed to the TWA Hotel. He wants the vision to be white and like red because the TWA Hotel has very bold red colors in the lobby. So we're looking forward to having a fun little photo shoot for the day. Very nice. Looking forward to it. So we made it to the air train. Next stop is the actual terminals. So to get from the city, it cost us $2.90 for the subway. Then the LIRR was $5, and then the BS air train. Look at this air train. Just to get to the terminals, $8.50. That is ridiculous. But either way, $16.40 times 2. I'm no mathematician, but I believe it's $33 and change for myself and Sonia. So $33 compared to $105. Pretty decent discount. It's going to take us for me, exactly an hour door to door. 3 stops later, Terminal 5. We are here. Instead of following signs at Terminal 5, we are going to the TWA Hotel.
So fun facts about the TWA Hotel. It's the only on-airport hotel at JFK. For those who are youngins, myself included, TWA, do you know what TWA is?
No.
It's an old airline.
Oh, there it is. There's the plane.
They used to be like one of the main airlines. I think it stood for Trans World Airlines. I can't remember exactly, but it was TWA, Pan Am. Have you heard of Pan Am?
Nope.
So those are the two, like the equivalent of like United and Delta in today's world.
What happened to it?
Bankruptcy and other things, but here's the hotel in all its glory. It's got the old school vibes, and we're excited to do our little photo shoot. Some weddings occur here, I know that. Some cruise. Look, I got the old, and I think this is the old Back to the Future car. This is my first time in here. We got the TWA lobby, the old school food hall. This is sick. This is really cool. Yeah, the old departure boards. St. Louis, Memphis, TWA, all the airlines back in the day. Super cool. All right, we changed. We're ready to rock and roll now. Let the photo shoot commence. Outfit 1 is done. Now we gotta change into outfit number 2. Outfit 2, ready to rock. All right, it's Sonia's time. We got Ian here taking the photos, and look at that. Looking good, Son. Dang, babe. Look at that hottie.
Yeah.
She's looking great. The beautiful TWA Hotel. What a model. Aunt Laura would be proud. All right, the next shot, we're in this old school convertible right outside TWA Hotel. We have the best photographer in the game, Mr. Ian. Sonia's killing it. Here we are. Say hi, babe. Hi. Look great, baby. All right, we just wrapped up our photo shoot at the TWA JFK Hotel. How was it?
So much fun. Beautiful, retro, cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. All the old airplanes, the old uniforms, carpet, just the architecture in general. We did get in a little bit of trouble there at the end. The TWA concierge or whatever came over to us and said, hey, you guys need a permit to shoot in here. I said, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? So they gave us 10 minutes to finish up extra. Shout out to Ian. He kind of put this whole thing together. He's a professional photographer, and it made for a really, really fun day. So, and technically, per definition, I'm a professional model today because deadhead on the clock as we speak. So, head back into Manhattan via how we got here, the LIRR, and we'll get some lunch and continue on with our day. Back from the photo shoot, had lunch with Sonia, and then I passed out on the couch, took a little nap, but I know I have to move the body because you already know it's not negotiable, folks. Bad news is Sonia just left to go to a work dinner. She's hosting some client at some Italian restaurant. In her backpack that she took was my running watch. So I know I can run without it, but I think I'm gonna go there and scare her and grab it because I want it for my flight tomorrow, which is a 10:30 departure. So I gotta be there at 9:30 Newark. Shouldn't take more than an hour, but I'll give myself an hour to get there, 8:30 a.m. So I kind of want to get stuff moving. I got 7 miles on the training program today. It's a long day. I just actually did 13 miles yesterday, 7 miles today. For those who don't know, I am running the Chicago Marathon this year. That's my bib and my medal from the 2024 New York City Marathon. Running the Chicago this year, the goal is sub 3:30. I'm pretty focused. hoping I can get it. But I need to raise money for the Pat Tillman Foundation. So if you wouldn't mind, if you want to support me a little bit and or even better, support this amazing charity, all the funds go directly to them. $1, $5, $1 million, whatever you can spare, whatever you think is appropriate. The link is in the description below to donate to the Pat Tillman Foundation on my behalf. But 7 miles, go scare Sonia, hopefully not too bad, grab my watch, and then we'll come back and start making some dinner. That's a wrap, 7 miles in the books. Got my watch too. Shout out Sonia. Funny, she's actually having dinner with a client, so I kind of scared her while I snuck into the restaurant and grabbed my watch. I should have filmed it, but the lady she was eating with was looking at me like this. What the heck is this creep doing? But then we all had a big laugh. So go home, shower, and then dinner time. Luckily, I only live like a couple blocks from Trader Joe's, so I'm able to walk to the closest grocery store. Let's do a grocery store haul. First time ever on Pilot Pete Fly. Like I keep mentioning, I'm trying to get clean, lean, and eat whole food ingredients. So we're starting off with pasture-raised eggs. I usually do 4 eggs every morning. We got some chicken thighs. We got a New York strip, my personal favorite. Some blackberries, which I just learned a trick. You put it in baking soda in some ice water. It kind of cleans it out, so we love that. Flank steak is SJ's and I's couple favorite. Flank steak. 2 flank steaks, because you can never have enough steak. Uncured turkey bacon, so it's just chicken thighs cut up, sliced into turkey bacon. Not the healthiest, but I love my meat. I love my bacon, so it's a good alternative to have in the morning. Avocados. I love avocados. Just never used to buy them, so I never understood how they were, when they were ripe, how to cut them, how to use them, but we're on the avocado train currently. So 2 avocados. You guessed it, another New York strip. We meat it up today, folks. We meat it up. Some more fruit, blueberries. Overnight oats from Trader Joe's. Again, not the healthiest of things, but a quick, relatively healthy breakfast. Tomorrow morning, I'll have 2 of these, probably right before the gym, because that's the goal. Gym, then get ready and go to the plane. We'll see though. It's gonna be tough. I'm not a morning guy, I'm really not. Would you look at this? Another steak, ribeye steak. One of my also personal favorites. I'm definitely lactose, so you know what that means when I drink milk, but I do love it. So lactose-free 2% milk for all my shakes and everything like that. Greek non-fat yogurt. I have this in the morning, or dessert bowls. I make a mean dessert bowl with this, berries, some chocolate chips, and granola. It's bomb. Some salt and pepper because we're running low. And then to finish it off, some more meat, ground beef, because you just can never go wrong with ground beef. All in all, 137 buckaroonies. This will last me, just me alone, if SJ doesn't come over for dinner this week, which she probably will because she loves hoarding my fridge. This will last me like 4 or 5 days, lunch and dinners and breakfast. And then if she comes over, 2 or 3 days. So if you guys have any recommendations on what you eat to be healthy, pass them along. Like I said, this is a new endeavor for me. I'm about 4 or 5 months into it. I'm loving it. I'm feeling better. I'm definitely sleeping better. I'm keeping the meat, so don't think like, oh, hey, try vegetarian. Not for me. No shade to all those who are, but if you have any like tricks, like I said, I just learned about the cleaning the berries. I've heard vinegar. You put these in vinegar or baking soda, and it kind of cleans all the nasty toxins and dirt that's on them. So we're eating clean in the neighborhood today. We are packed. This is not a filter. I actually have red light in my room and in my out in my den for calming kind of nighttime routine wind down. It's been helping me kind of get more acclimated to getting to sleep, I guess. So anyway, full day, deadhead paid. We love to see it. Tomorrow's the actual flying, so I'll be heading to Newark around 8:30 in the morning. I'm all packed, just bring a little day bag, so super easy because I'll fly there and then I'll jump seat home either on my company jet at like 3 o'clock, or there's a passenger guy that I'll probably take an hour earlier to LaGuardia. So I'm gonna bring the massage gun with me after my run to do that in the plane. And let's see what else. Oh, my charts or my iPad, because I haven't flown in like a week, they're definitely outdated, so we'll have to update those on our flight. Tomorrow will be the big question. Will you see me for my non-negotiable in the morning? My alarm's set for 6:30. I do not get up early and I do not work out in the morning. It's a bad habit I have of just, I value sleep. I sleep in. I don't go to bed early enough. It's something I'm working on. Not that hard if I'm being perfectly honest, but need to get better at putting this device down earlier and getting to bed. So we'll see. I'll either see you in the morning getting ready for work and heading to the airport. I'll see you hopefully 2 hours before that at the gym. Good morning, beautiful people. If you guessed that I would be at the gym this morning before my flight, I hate to disappoint you, but I am not. I didn't end up falling asleep till closer to midnight, 12:30, almost 1 a.m. Just mind racing, nothing crazy, just one of those nights. So, and I had a little bit of an upset stomach. Ended up turning my 6:30 a.m. alarm off and just waking up to my 8 a.m. alarm. So it's currently 8:45, headed to Newark Airport. The Uber has been called. It's just got the notification as I'm talking to you. It has just been arrived, and hopefully it won't take more than 35 minutes per the traffic says right now. We'll get to Newark. We'll pre-flight the 767. In the car ride, I already just updated my jet chart, so I'll kind of show you guys the flight plan for today, how long it's going to be, and it's just one leg. Like I said, technically, I know for a fact the cat that I'm flying with, he deadheaded yesterday from Memphis, so he's been gone from his home since yesterday. I obviously spent the day, as this is falling, I obviously spent the day here in New York, Newark Airport chart, as you can see, which by the way, I do sell and make if you're ever interested in one. But I digress. Pre-flight the 767, I'll go over the flight plan, things we're gonna be going over today, and next stop will be Newark Ramp. About 20 minutes out from the airport, and I just checked my iPad. Our flight plan just came out. Usually comes out like an hour and a half, but no, usually later than like an hour prior to departure. So thankfully we'll make it to Newark on time today. The traffic wasn't too bad. But here's an overview of the flight plan today. As you can tell, the dispatcher did a nice job flying us south of that weather, so we'll depart Newark. They're actually taking off towards the north this way, as I can see from the planes, because we're like less than 2 miles from Newark right now, so I can tell they're taking off runway 4 left. So it'll be a quick taxi today, because as you can see, our ramp's right in this area, and then 4 left is right down there. So there's all that weather. That's kind of why it's cold and windy in the New York area. Obviously, while you're watching this, it's long gone now, but on May 20th currently, it is cold in New York because that front is pushing all that weather this way. So there's our flight path around the weather, and then by the time we get to Memphis, most of this will head north and won't be an issue, but it's there in case it's there, but we have an alternate, I should say, of St. Louis Airport in case that weather doesn't move out of the way. So plenty of gas on board today's flight. It's going to be a long one though, because we have a procedure on this flight that makes us fly slow. So we have an MEL. So for those who aren't pilots, an MEL is a term used in aviation. It stands for minimum equipment list. Think of it this way: there's over 1 million parts on an airplane. Obviously something's not going to be working, going to be broken at various points throughout the airplane's career. So in order to keep airplanes moving and actually flying, the FAA, along with the airlines and the company, and MELs exist even in small airlines or small planes, like when you get your private pilot license, but the FAA and the airline come up with a minimum equipment list saying, hey, these are parts that, yes, they need to be fixed, can't just be broken forever, but you don't have to cancel a flight or delay a flight over it. You can just note that it's inoperative, and then at certain parameters it needs to be fixed. For example, if there's a bolt on the back of the cargo loading
that's inside the, or I'll make it even simpler, a light in the cargo department, in the cargo hold, where at night when people are loading your bags and your golf clubs and stuff, that light needs to work, right? Well, do you need to cancel or delay a flight over it? Of course not. It can be deferred, and I'm just making this up, for 10, 30, 45 days, whatever the FAA and the company agree upon that make it safe. So I was looking over our flight plan. We have 2 MELs. One is very similar to that light bulb. That's kind of like insignificant. It doesn't really affect us. It's more for like, hey, next time maintenance gets around to it, fix it. It's just like a piece of loading equipment, like the ball rollers. But the other one, this is my first time having this one, is outboard aileron lockout system. So it says here, may be inoperative, unlocked, provided maximum airspeed is limited to 270 knots or 0.73 Mach, whichever is less. So I know that might sound like a lot of jargon to non-aviation people, but I'll tell you this, when we normally fly, we usually fly like 330 knots and Mach 0.80, so it's definitely a lot slower. And outboard ailerons are basically the part on the wing that move the airplane left and right, so they're vitally important. And this is just saying, hey, they work, but the outboard aileron lockout system that only works, it's supposed to lock into place at high speeds, it's not working. So over these speeds that the MEL is telling us we can't fly above because the system's not working. So again, perfectly safe, perfectly able to go fly, just saying, hey, the system doesn't operate, so going above these speeds, going fast today, will not be allowed. So the captain and I, when we meet up, we'll talk about this. But yeah, my first time having this, it says that maintenance has to check it and all these things, so we'll obviously make sure they do that prior to us going flying. But instead of having a 2 hour and 30-minute flight, it's going to be closer to 3 hours and 15-minute flight now, based on the fact that we can't go fast. So yeah, just part of how it works. Like I said, MELs, depending on the places I've been, they vary. I mean, I've worked at airlines where there are MELs like pretty frequently, because they're older airplanes and maintenance was kind of, always trying to kind of play catch up. At this airline, very, very rarely do I have a MEL or minimum equipment list, or basically inoperative equipment. But obviously this one exists. It could have happened on the inbound flight and they're like, hey, we need to bring it back to base to get it fixed. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I've never flown the 767 this slow before. Obviously it's plenty capable. It's just gonna be in for a long flight. So luckily I have about 2 hours when I land in Memphis before try to catch my commute flight home. So that won't really play a factor, but we'll be flying slow, and we'll be at the ramp here in about 2 minutes.
Early to Newark. You don't hear me say that very often, but we made it. Chilly, like I said, and I just realized Newark's down the one runway. 4 left is closed. 22 right, 4 left is closed. So we'll be departing 4 right out to the north, and then heading to Memphis. But yeah, it's gonna make for a long flight. Next stop is Memphis. Let's go fly.
All right, we got an ETOPS plane, which means we are situated, or we are given a CRM crew rest module. I'll show them these a bunch, but throw the light on here. Even though we're not using it because it's a 2-man crew short flight to Memphis, we still have to pre-flight it per our procedures. So just did that. It all works. I've shown it before, like I said, a few times, but it's pretty unique. It's pretty interesting. People are always liking to see where the pilots get to sleep if there is a longer flight. So there's 2 bunks, because we can have a 4-pilot crew on the 767, and they'll give us like pillows and blankets, and it's usually not obviously this messy, and they'll be clean every time we have to use them. But again, it's actually really quiet. When I lock this door, you can't hear anything. I've used it on real flights probably like 4, 5, 7, 8, probably 5 times now at this point, not including like when I'm jump seating. Just for actual operating long flights. I've flown from Campinas, we needed it, Dubai, we needed it, Paris, and it's really comfortable. I sleep really, really good. I really like it. So yeah, not too shabby. This is the glamorous look of your first class for pilots, for lack of a better term.
Memphis, Tennessee. We made it, but wow, what a flight that was. First, I want to start off with the taxi out. Like I told you guys, we were taxiing out runway 4 right. We were parked here at gate 31. So a quick taxi to 4 right is what I thought. However, we got pushed back. We couldn't see any airplanes because our nose was facing south. Finally, we got cleared to taxi, and oh boy, look at this lineup. This is not exaggerating. This is a live look at what Newark was when we were departing. Look at this. Look how many planes were waiting to take off on runway 4 right. I mean, we were number like 24 for departure at one point. That's us down here. All these planes have to taxi north and then wait for all these other planes that are coming down from over here. Over 23 airplanes we were waiting to take off, including the airplanes that had to land on runway 4 right. So it was quite the conundrum getting out of Newark. If you've flown in the Northeast, specifically to New York, specifically to Newark, you know that delays are quite common, but there was no weather. But the two things are going on right now currently while this is being filmed. One, like I keep mentioning, the runway's closed. So one, runway operations is no good at a major international airport like Newark, and they can't use that intersecting runway 29. I'll show you guys here. There's another runway they use. It's a lot shorter. It's only 6,700 feet. It's very rarely used, but they couldn't use it because the wind was so strong. So no aircraft could take off or land this morning. They had to operate 4 right. So when a major airport like that is only down to one runway operation, you can imagine the line that it creates. With a single runway on top of the winds, making that the only available takeoff and landing option, on top of the ATC issues that I'm sure most of you have been hearing about in the news, just totaled an absolute disaster. Just took a long time, that's all. It ended up being 51 minutes from we got pushed back to the gate till we actually took off. Our computer, our ACARS data, calculates all of that stuff. So I just could not believe 51 minutes for me without having an actual edict or an estimated departure hold from air traffic control. This was just normal kind of flow. I've never ever waited that long to take off, but nonetheless, we finally got off safe and sound from 4 right, departed Newark, flew over Teterboro, left turn, and then, like I showed you guys on the car ride in, that weather was all up here. It's not updating right now because I'm probably on the Wi-Fi, but either way, all that weather, there it is. We had to fly south of all of that. We got into Atlanta Center, so we're talking to, that's rare for us to be flying from New York to Memphis. Rarely am I talking to Atlanta Center, but that's how far south we went, then over west to get into Memphis. Pretty bumpy ride. The first hour or so is probably like moderate turbulence, cruising at 36,000 feet, but finally it smoothed out once we got past all this convective weather, and it was a smooth sailing into runway 18 left. Landed 18 left in Memphis, taxied to our gate, and I didn't even change. As you can see, I'm here at the Muggle terminal waiting for my flight. Just ordered some Chili's to go fajitas. I know you're thinking, Pete, you always say you eat healthy. I try to. The best thing I can do in the airport that I found in Memphis Airport, for anyone who's watching this who travels through Memphis Airport, if you have a better food option, please let me know. I just do the steak fajitas and pretty much just eat the steak and rice. So it's kind of the best thing I've found. 23 bucks, pretty big rip off, not that good, but you got to do what you got to do. Oh, I wanted to mention, so another procedure that we did, so we started both engines as we're getting pushed back, because we thought, hey, it's not gonna be that long of a taxi. The captain had just flown out of Newark not too long ago at that time, around like 10:30 a.m. So it's usually the morning rush is gone. So we had 2 engines spinning, meaning they're burning fuel, but as I just showed you, over 23 airplanes in front of us for takeoff. So there's no reason to keep the airplane fuel, there's no reason to keep the airplane from burning that much fuel with both engines, because you can taxi around the airports with one engine just fine. So we ended up shutting one down. As soon as we saw that, we're like, this is nonsense, let's just shut it down. So we shut down the right engine, taxied on the single engine left engine, and then when we were number like 3 or 4 for departure, we started the engine back up and just ran through the checklist again. So an easy procedure, but definitely something that's different than a normal average day for us line pilots flying. and save the company, you know, a couple $1,000s because the fuel is so freaking expensive. But yeah, overall good flight, and then long because we had to cruise at 0.73 Mach. We're normally cruising at 0.8, but because of that MEL, like I mentioned, we had to fly slower. You couldn't tell any differences in the flight deck at all. It was the captain's leg. He actually gave me the option, but I haven't flown in a while. I was like, hey, you just take it. And gusty winds in Memphis, gusty winds in New York, all that weather that's pushing to the northeast right now is causing all of that. So made it safely. I got about 45 minutes before my flight home. Going back to LaGuardia though, not Newark. I want to stay away from that airport as much as possible. And then as far as my schedule sits right now, I'm off for the next couple of days. So we'll commute back to New York, hopefully get back in time for a non-negotiable. I didn't wake up this morning, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I get an open seat so I can take a nap and rest a little bit. Back to LaGuardia where it all started, and hopefully not be too tired, and we'll somehow fix to get a workout in. Just to go at the airport, nothing better. $23, mixed veggies, rice, some what they call steak. Like I said, if you have any better options at the Memphis airport, please let me know, because I would love to eat better here. But it's like Chick-fil-A and Starbucks and Chili's to go is pretty much my only options when I don't have other things to eat. So I get asked all the time, how do you fly for free on other airlines? So for this particular airline, there's a website you just go on, you list, and then if there's an open seat, you check in with the ticket counter and they hand you a boarding pass, 8F8 Foxtrot, so I'll have extra leg room for daddy long legs for my, just be under 2 hours. Tailwinds pushing us back. All those strong winds that I talked about on our flight will be a tailwind pushing us back to LaGuardia. And then I personally live closest to the LaGuardia airport, so I'll jump in an Uber, which will also be paid for by my company indirectly. So how it works at different airlines, they have different rules with transportation and parking, and if you're based here or whatnot. The way it works at my company is we get deviation money to use for travel. So airline, train, parking, ground transportation. So that's what I'll be using. So my chariot awaits. They just landed. The inbound's a little bit late. So we should be getting out of here like 30 minutes or so. Scarf down the Chili's. That was a solid 5.3 out of 10. And we need to get a little nap in, hopefully, on the flight back so I can get home. The workout plan has me running a lot of miles. I think it's like 9, and then I want to go to the gym, so maybe I'll run and then just gym and run tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, that's how simple it is. It's a list. It takes 2 minutes on the phone, on the internet, and then you go up to the ticket counter and say, hey, I like to check in from the flight deck jump seat. You show them your badge. They look you up. They make sure your picture matches in the CAS system, which is Cockpit Authorization Safety something. I don't know what it stands for, but it was CAS approved, and then they give me, like I said, a boarding pass to head to LaGuardia 8F. Let's go. Finally made it back to New York City. Landed LaGuardia, waited like an hour for the gate. Just a long day, folks. And you know what? The last thing I wanted to do was throw on my gym clothes and my workout gear and go for a walk, a run, hit the gym. But I realized if I'm gonna be the non-negotiable guy, I gotta be the non-negotiable guy. So we're heading to the gym. It's currently 8:24 p.m. Exhausted, but I need to get some blood flow going, because just sitting all day, having that kind of day is not good for the body or the mind or the soul. So we'll do a little bit of bike work, rest the legs a little bit for a long run tomorrow session I have, and then we'll probably lift a little bit of legs is the plan. Late dinner, late bedtime, but that's all right. I'm a grown man. I can stay up past my bedtime on occasion. So we'll get the workout in. Hopefully it'll boost the energy, boost the mood from a long freaking day. Really did not want to be here right now, but already feeling better. 32 minutes in. I'm telling you guys, you gotta move your body. I get asked all the time about my motivation. Today's a perfect example. It does not exist. Zero motivation to be here, but discipline. Discipline's the only reason I got here. Making my bed in the morning, brushing my teeth twice a day. Those are just something I do no matter what. It's silly. You might not agree with it, but it's non-negotiable. I told myself I'm gonna move my body each and every day. I'm exhausted, but there's time left in the day. I'm not sick. I have the physical ability to do so. I'm gonna do it. So here we are at the gym, getting it done, one rep at a time. And there we have it, folks. That ends the very long one-day trip, kind of 2 full days in my life, from start to finish, how it goes, how it works. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you made it this far. I got the red light going. It's bedtime. It's midnight. I am exhausted, but luckily off tomorrow. Gonna sleep in and get back after it. But as always, I appreciate coming along for the ride. If you enjoyed it, wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel. It helps grow. Appreciate it. As always, if you have any comments or questions, leave them down below or shoot me a DM on Instagram. Just make sure you follow me first. I get back to every single one of them. And yeah, I really didn't want to go for that workout, but I must say it does make me feel better. I'm glad I did it. Till next time, I'll see you next week.